In this video, we will look at sensitivity versus specificity. So these are topics in Chapter 4. When we look at a particular test that is aimed at detecting the existence of some condition or disease, we often measure this using sensitivity or specificity. So if we look at a definition here, the sensitivity of a test is the probability of a true positive. So if a person has the disease or condition, whatever we're testing for, if they have that condition, the sensitivity is the likelihood that it will come back with a positive test result, so a true positive. So in terms of a conditional probability, the sensitivity is the probability of a positive test given that the person has the condition. Similarly, specificity is the probability of a true negative. In other words, if the subject does not have the disease or condition, whatever we're testing for, if they don't have the condition, this is the probability that the test comes back negative. So in terms of a conditional probability, it's the probability of a negative test, assuming they do not have the condition. So another way to think of these measures is these are the likelihoods that the test got it correct. So let's look at an example. Suppose we have a test for diabetes. We sample 200 people, and here are the results. So some of the subjects had diabetes, some of the subjects did not. Sometimes the test came back positive, indicating diabetes was present. Other times it did not. So if we look at sensitivity and specificity here, first thing we'll want to do is look at the row and column totals. So notice there's a total of 155 people that ended up with a positive test result. 45 that ended up with a negative test result, and there's that 200 total. Similarly, there were 102 subjects in this test that had diabetes, actually had the disease. There were 98 that did not. So if I want the sensitivity of all those people who have diabetes, what percent of the time did the test come back positive? So if I look at those 102 people that had diabetes, 85 times the test correctly came back positive. So the sensitivity would be 83%. Similarly, if I look at those that do not have diabetes, of those 98 people, only 28 of those 98 people did the test correctly indicate that they did not have diabetes. So in this case, the specificity is quite low. Ideally, we like both the sensitivity and specificity to be high. And so these are common measures, particularly with medical tests. Tests for diabetes or AIDS or pregnancy or cancer, various things like that. The sensitivity is the probability of a positive test if the person actually has the condition or disease. The specificity is the probability of a negative test if the person does not have the condition.